Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Live as we continue our conversation on VBS Bank. Now, yesterday, Limpopo Premier Mathabatha said that provincial departments, SOEs and municipalities are all working at ensuring that all outstanding investigations related to corruption and maladministration are concluded without further delay. Now, briefing the media on the status of VBS Mutual Bank, he gave an update on the remedial action that has been taken against officials who have acted outside the law, according to the report that was issued by Advocate Terry Motau. Now, Premier Mathabatha joins us from our Polokwane studios. Premier, thanks so much for speaking to us this morning.
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to your viewers.
Premier, first and foremost, how many municipalities are we talking about in Limpopo province who are guilty of actually investing with VBS Mutual, knowing full well that this goes against the rules?
We've got about 10 municipalities that invested in VBS, but only 7 are the ones that lost their money at VBS.
But the fact remains 10 were complicit in this act that goes against the law. And the curious question is, how did this happen?
Absolutely. How did that happen? Yes, it's a very important question, that one, Sakin. That's the question that we are asking currently. So that, because that is the question that will tell us as to who is the culprit, who transgressed the law, and who did what. Because before we can answer that question, we can't be in the position to take corrective action. So we are doing our own investigation, like you correctly say that the Reserve Bank has done their own investigation in the bank. We are also doing our investigation in municipalities through our Department of Provincial Treasury, which has sort of sourced out that function to a particular company, audit company.
Premier, looking at your investigation and the list that we've seen, it would appear that chief financial officers and municipal managers are the ones who find their names appearing here. But would you agree with me that they would not have engaged in these sort of activities without the express approval of the political principals, who would be the mayors in this instance?
Totally agree with you. Hence, I am saying we are conducting our own forensic investigation that has been going on now for 6 months. It will be finalized by the end of this month, so that we can know exactly who was involved in this thing and what is the intensity of their involvement.
But while we can put that to the side and allow you the leeway to conclude your investigation, the Reserve Bank investigation is, though, complete. It is on the table. And as far as that is concerned, you have Florence Radzilana and also Danny Msiza, who are senior figures in Limpopo, in the Limpopo Provincial ANC structures. They have been fingered. Why haven't they been dealt with?
Why haven't they been dealt with by us as a province? Are you saying by us as a province?
I'm saying yes, and I specifically mentioned them in the context of senior ANC leadership in the province.
Oh, okay. Yes, you know, Sakina, in the African National Congress, there are processes and procedures that are being followed when somebody is being charged in terms of Section 25 of the ANC Constitution. So Comrade Danny and Comrade Florence cannot be charged by the provincial executive because they are our colleagues, which therefore makes us conflicted parties because we are almost at the same level with them. But what I can tell you about because immediately thereafter, we spoke to them as colleagues as to what is it that they know about this thing. Both of them told us explicitly that they feel they were unfairly treated by Advocate Terry Motau in that report because they were not interviewed at whatever stage. That is the reason why currently I know that Comrade Dane is taking the matter to court so that he can exercise his right of response, and I guess Comrade Florence will also be doing the same. But what I can outrightly tell you is that Comrade Dane is taking the matter to court.
So I don't understand why you say you cannot deal with them.
You said, why are we not acting then?
Because, and the reason I'm saying this is...
The National Executive Committee will...
Apology there for, I think, the slight delay, so we tend to speak but past each other. But let me just complete this, Premier. I was saying that the situation as it stands currently, would you agree that their actions, as pointed out in the Reserve Bank report, actually brings the party into disrepute? Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hence, the National Executive Committee, Sakina, the officials of the National Executive Committee has said to us that we have taken Advocate Terry Motau's report to our Integrity Commission. So the issue of Comrade Denny and Comrade Florence is not your baby, it's our baby. Leave it to us. And we have done so. We have left it to the National Executive Committee. The officials of the National Executive Committee, I think either through the mouth of the Secretary General or through the spokesperson, will be responding to that question. I am not the competent body to can do that.
And I guess, we can argue about this forever and a day, but the cold hard facts on the table are that nearly 2 billion rand in government funds, government monies meant for service delivery has been lost here, and nobody's been fired. Do you think that's right? Is that the sort of message that we should be sending to the electorate?
No, it's not true to be saying that nobody is being fired. Like officials have already been charged. One official have already been fired at Guyana municipality. my apology. And sorry. With politicians, I am telling you outrightly now, I'm actually committing myself, that those politicians that can be found to have been in the wrong, those politicians also will be dealt with, because this forensic investigation, when it comes by the end of this month, it will tell us exactly who instructed who did what, who signed what, and who will be in the position to can charge almost everybody from the top to the bottom.
So, Mr. Premier, you say one official has been fired. What position did that official occupy, and why were you able to act so speedily against them?
Chief Financial Officer.
So, you acted against him. What about the political principle in that regard?
I don't. Yes, what about I acted upon him because we had information. We had evidence. Because, Sakina, with a politician is not like an administrator. The administrators are reporting to the accounting office, and there are clear rules and regulations that they need to follow. And it becomes very easy to do an audit trail as to whether, did you follow this stage, did you follow this stage, But when it comes to the politician, in most instances, you find that it's a verbal instruction. You just instruct the municipal manager, and the municipal manager must follow those processes. And for you to charge that politician, you need the cooperation of the municipal manager, because it's a word of mouth.
Yes, but you agreed with me 5 minutes ago that the chances of chief financial officers, municipal officers, the bureaucrats actually following through on such without the tacit approval of the political heads was not possible. So you agreed with me on that 5 minutes ago.
No, I didn't say it was not possible. It was not probable. Yes, I'll agree. But when you say it was not possible, I don't think I'll agree with that, because it is possible.
All right, changing your tune slightly there, Premier, but be that as it may, when did you, as the Premier, become aware that you had 10 municipalities who were actually breaching the law by putting monies into investment accounts with a mutual bank?
I think immediately the alarm was raised by the National Treasury, and I think it was National Treasury and the Reserve Bank. We immediately, as the provincial government, took action, because we instructed Coxa to go and investigate, and Coxa went and investigated. They found that indeed there is this kind of thing. Hence, we then met as the Provincial Executive Committee and then SO of the province, and instructed the Department of Treasury to conduct a forensic investigation so that we can know exactly what happened, so that when we act, we must not be shooting in the dark.
When was that? When did you become aware?
I think it was somewhere there in March, April. I just can't outrightly say it was in March or in April. Or
of
in
this
February.
year? Of this year, Premier?
Of this year, yes. Yes. Yes, of this year.
But that was not the first time that this issue was raised.
Remember, Sakina, it was not the first time that the issue was raised. When else was it raised?
The issue about deposits being made by municipalities was raised by the Reserve Bank before March, April this year.
Yes, you may find that it was raised before March, April this year to the municipalities. Remember, Sakina, despite that we are a unitary state, we've got 3 autonomous spheres of government in this country. And for you in the sphere, in the provincial sphere of government, to know things that are happening at the municipality, you need something that is called Section 71 report that is being submitted to provincial treasury and COCTA. And those Section 71 reports must be reliable. But if they are not reliable, it will be very, very difficult for you as a premier or an MEC to detect some of these things or to know about some of these things that are happening down there in the municipalities.
Well, Premier Mathabatha, we could go on all day, but unfortunately we have to leave it there. Other things to get to as well. But
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for engaging with us this morning. And that was Stan Mathabatha, the Premier of Limpopo Province, updating us on their side of the VBS saga. And it continues. Your views at Morning Live SABC. Well, we're going to cross to Vela now.